Hello everyone, welcome to another round of Chitter Chatter. Today we're going to chit chat with Gautham. Well, you have to read his current book, Bhujang Shetty and the Lost Treasure of Basroor. Well, let me tell you, this book is super fun. And you know how you like the South movies and all? This is a book that actually I felt like I was watching the South genre movies with too much fun and too much drama. And the thriller is in a way where you're trying to guess along with the author what's happening, but at the same time you are a little laid back, like okay, you know what's going to happen next, and trust me, you are going to fall in love with the protagonist Vijay Shetty. He is too cute. And right now I want to ask a lot of questions because there's so much drama in the book that I am quite curious to know about all the drama, and I'm sure even you will be while you're reading the book. It's a very quick read, like you will start it and I think in a day or max two, you will end up finishing it because it has hooks every page turner. So let's get started and let's welcome Gautam for this chitter chatter. Hi Gautam, welcome to Chitter Chatter.
Hi Shweta, how are you?
I'm good. How have you been?
Good, good. Both cat parents are meeting together for the first time.
Yes. And
Virtually.
I'm
Yeah.
all prepared for all the awkwardness and fun and for the drama in this chitter chatter.
Thank you, thank you. All the very best. I'm giving a warning
Thank you.
beforehand.
Firstly, Gautam, I have to credit you for the cover itself to begin. I know people say don't judge the book by the cover, but the cover is so nice that you know you're into a fun thrill read. Usually, lately it's become that thriller is either mythological or it is very grim and very
Mm.
serious. But your cover automatically breaks the barrier. It itself says that you're in for some fun thrill read. So, was this a very conscious thing that you did when you were designing your cover?
Yeah, a lot of arguments with the publishing team actually. Uh, so the initial two or three designs they gave was very sober and I had some certain feedback. So I actually gave them a couple of pictures of Shikari Shambhu and Subandi. So this was the sort of vibe which I want to get from that. So and the publishing team actually got back saying that okay, this we can do, but are you serious about this? That was the question. I said yeah. Anyway, I'm a debut author. If it screws up, it screws up. I'm not so much worried about it. So finally, yeah, there were two or three arguments which was happening between me and them. Finally this is where we ended up, and I was not very sure about the output of the cover, but actually it was like one of the highlight of the book. Lot of people were complimenting regarding the cover, so I am very
I
happy.
I'm very happy you took the plunge as a debut author that okay, I'm a debutant and what can go wrong? Because
Yeah,
the cover itself, no, like it just sets the note right. Because your thriller is like fun. Like though it's a page turner, but at the same time, the way he is the main protagonist, when he's looking for the mystery, he's too much fun. I can visualize him, in that lungi and squeezing the lemons and everything. Like
yeah.
lemonade has become fun.
So yeah, so that was what the idea which I had. I don't want to give a gyan like one very knowledgeable person that's saying that this is the vision and all which I had. So basically, the idea was for me to create a graphic novel initially, because I was way too much into comics and your regular Aztecs, Tintin, and all that, and the occasional other stuff. So when the initial idea came about, and that graphic novel didn't work out because I didn't find the right graphic artist because there are too many of them in India, and I'm being sarcastic, and getting the right contacts was not a possibility for me at that point of time. So I thought, okay, anyway, I've written the story. Now we will publish it as a novel, uh, and this is how it ended up. But yeah, but I didn't want it to be a serious stuff at any point of time. Everybody is pissed off in their life, man. I mean, they come back there again. I give gyan. I mean, people will get pissed about it. So I just want it to be a very breezy read.
But like right now you are in the top three in Kindle, and the book is doing Touchwood very well, and I'm sure it'll do very, very well. It's gonna reach the number one position also. I'm very sure of that, and we'll be celebrating to that with some lemonade. But
The
when you
number one
thought,
position
like,
is Harry Potter.
sorry,
The number one position is Harry Potter. I don't think that is going to be dethroned any point of time.
you never know. With Bhujang, anything can happen.
The unpredictability is there, but yeah, if that happens, very nice. I will savor that moment and take a screenshot of that day.
And don't hide it, huh? Like, pata chala koi vessel mein you've hidden it, and we're trying to figure out where is that screenshot, in which vessel is it there.
Oh, I'll be very open about it if it happens.
How did you think of penning down this particular novel? Like, as an author, I'm sure a lot of ideas must have always come. We always have so many stories or concepts in our mind. It's very rarely we can zero down on pen and something. So, how did you think this to be a debut novel?
I had absolutely no idea, to tell frankly. So I wanted to write a couple of short stories about that. And generally, when we are having a conversation with my cousins and something, so that's the place which we are speaking about in the novel was a place called Basrur, which happens to be my mother's native. Uh, she passed away when I was young. I mean, she used to tell a lot of stories about that place. So when I used to talk about this place to other people and all, and nobody was aware of it, the history behind it, what was happening. I thought it was a very common known fact about them, and I thought, okay, I mean, if nobody is aware of it, let's give a spin on that. So there was some historical fact which happened there, historical incidents, and turning it into a story was not necessarily a very daunting task. It was I thought it was possible, and I went for it, and I took feedback from certain amount of people. Then, yeah, as you said, initially I went full intricate and very like very philosophical with Gyan and all that, the novel and all. Then I only slept, and I rejected that. So I tried to make Bhujanga character, which is more, people can relate to and people can have fun with. So I don't want to create something where people are reading it and getting depressed about it. So I mean, people can get depressed in a bad way also, saying what a horrible book, but I wanted to make it a fun read. So it all collated together in that way. I don't know if it makes
Your
sense.
character, Bhujang, is fun. Like you said, he gives gyan, but a very subtle gyan, like between the lines kind of a thing. And like you said, you wanted it to be a fun read because you yourself slept in the first draft
Mm.
that you were writing and whatever. So, when you see him, the way you've written it, you can actually visualize it. Like for me, I felt as if I'm watching the movie.
Mm.
He was like, it's so descriptive. So, is that your natural writing, or you made it consciously a fun, descriptive writing when it came to your novel?
No, actually, yeah, it's very nice. So I chose it to be descriptive because very few people know about, the coastal side of Karnataka, especially that place, Basrur. And the lifestyle of the people who are staying there have a very, they have their own unique lifestyle, which has to be highlighted. I mean, the way they run their lives, the way they operate every day, the modus operandi, like we are all in tier one cities, but we can't relate to it. So if you are not giving the description correct, nobody can relate to it. So and if you actually remove the character description part and the place description part, the story will get over in 40, 50 pages. I mean,
Right.
it's hardly anything. So I valued more on the description part so that people get very. I always had thought that even so there was a thing saying that even if it flops, but I had in my mind saying that this is going to be a four part, five part, or something like that. So if I am going to get at any point of time, if I am going to release a second or third book, I have to get the premise right. I have to get the character right. That people should understand the character, the people should understand the nature of the place. So that was the whole intent behind it. So it was not like consciously done in a major way, but I want them to understand the culture of the locality more than Bhujang's character. So that was the thing.
Like
I
you
don't
said,
know.
the premise was very important. If I didn't understand Basur, I would not understand that, the Navy operations and so much more. I will not spill in the details because I don't want to give spoiler at any point, and I want everyone to take this book and read because you can actually finish it in like 2 sittings. Trust me on it. So, it's a very millennial read, which is like one can read it on the way while traveling and finish it. So again, like you said, you were very conscious on that it should be fun, it should be philosophical, but not like preachy. And
Mm.
also did you keep it concise so that it
Yeah,
can be a fun millennial read in today's time?
keeping it concise was priority number one. So I wanted it to be maximum 50 minutes to 1 hour because the original draft was of a graphic novel. So, but yeah, when I tried reading it, even I was able to finish it in 1.5, 2 hours with all the distractions in my house available. So I thought even people can take this up. So my criteria was met. So it
Very
was
well
very easy.
met. And tell us about the lemons. You have very nicely put across the whole lemon thing. Like, at some point when you're reading the book, you want to have a lemonade. So, what is the whole idea of lemons? Like, the premise of him being at a juice corner and wondering why are people coming out for a lemonade? And, it goes on throughout the novel. And it's a very subtle yarn of like when life gives you lemon, what do you do? So, like, what was the whole connection there?
So I told you, right? I mean, my mom was from that native place. So we used to go for summer vacations. So right in front of the house, there was a juice shop long time back. So my mother used to give me 3 rupees every day. So when we were playing cricket or something, and that was the only thing which was available for refreshment. So there is no other people just sit there and have lime juice. There is no other thing, and there's something. They had their own versions of Coke and Fanta and all that, local brands, but generally the preferred drink was lemon juice. And there used to be a small shop with some 6 seats, and from morning to evening, whenever I see there, I used to sit with one lemon juice glass and sit. So even I started doing the same thing when I'm there, because when you have no options, that is the only thing to do. So the whole thing, without talking about Basroor, without including lemon juice in that, I mean, based on my nostalgia, it didn't make any sense.
Even your premise, the history premise of the treasure that is there, it's
Mm.
very well put. Like it felt like as if I am understanding the history and all of it. So when that happens, to add fiction and history and combine all of it, it is difficult. As a writer, what would you recommend to new writers who are trying to attempt this kind of a novel?
Right, whatever you want, man. I mean, if you put too much gyan and all into that, it is not going to work out. I mean, you have to be brave and do that. And eh, publishing has been remotely been very easy these days. I mean, it is not like, I mean, just to challenge yourself, you can write a horrible book and force people to read these days and make them give reviews also. So if you are going to think full, saying that, see, not everything has to be perfect, right? I mean, if you want to go about it, it's it's nice because you want your voice to be heard and you want your story to be heard. I think that is the, if you are thinking so much repercussions about what is going to happen, what is going to people think, you're never going to come out of the box. I mean, if even when I wrote this book or something, I never thought people will buy more than 100 books also. That was to tell you frankly. But when the initial reviews came out, when they started reading, and I am not from this background at all, and I come from a strong analytics and retail background. So the whole speaking with this publishing house, this self-publishing house, only made me mad for about 1 month. I mean, it literally drove me crazy. Then I said, okay, enough done, because there was no logic or science behind half of the stuff. I'm very sorry if I am offending anyone, but to tell you frankly, because certain things I didn't find any logic or sense. And when I said, okay, then be brave and we'll go about it, then we'll see what's going to happen. If it is something which I believed, right? I mean, if I am okay with it, it's fine. There may be people who are for it and there may be people who are against it, but if you are not putting it out there, you are never going to have, you know, you are always going to regret it, it's that it's never happened. So that's my advice. I mean, don't, break your head so much for it.
That's a constant advice you've given from the beginning. कि डर के आगे जीत है. So just go for it.
Yeah. See, there are many, many things in life which are like hyper important and much more, you actually spend your effort on all that. And these are things, especially writing a book and all, you are basically pursuing your passion. It is not something, at least for me, this is not something which I looked and at the inception point of time that this is going to be part of my livelihood or something. So I just wanted to see, I mean, if it's going to go there and if it's going to be hopeless, maximum 1 month, people are going to abuse me on the internet. That I can tolerate. But at least at one point of time, I can say that I released the book. Okay, it's done. Now I know I don't need to write anymore because I got abused. But if you have never attempted it, it's not going to work out, right? Yeah.
You know, this is not your background. There is work going on. And at the same time, you took the creative pursuit to another level, making sure that you attempt and you get your book out, irrespective of the journey of the book. It
Mhm.
is very rarely one can take that plunge. You know, we always have a very simple excuse in life, most of the times, that we are very busy to remove that time to write. So, what
Yeah.
would you recommend to people who want to do it but hide behind the excuse that, with my work, I don't have the time?
I think if you really love it, if you really want to do it, I mean, people can always make time for it. I mean, I love to play computer games. I always make time for it, no matter what it is. Now, on paper, if people see LinkedIn and all, I mean, I was one of the core founding directors of Mintra.com. So I collaborated with a company called Uniworld. I had the analytics division there. So these are things which on paper it may look fancy, but at the end of the day, if I don't do what I love, it doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, there has to be at least 30 minutes or 1 hour where you be happy about what you do. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense the whole career path which you took.
Right. When you craft a story, it's literally like you've given birth to that particular story. It's now a reality. That fiction is reality somewhere out there. And there are people who appreciate it. And the first time you have your book in hand, tell me all the emotions you personally felt when you had your book, you had people buying it, reviewing it, and all of it, the journey.
So the first month after getting it released was thinking people, as long as they don't hit me, I'm fine after reading it. Because there were a lot of family groups and all where I sent those messages, please buy the book. And I know a lot of readers, I mean, in my family groups and friend circle, they actually read books. So I was little bit, worried about it. What is going to be the feedback? I know, of course, some people will are polite and say, even if it's horrible, they won't tell it's horrible. So I was little bit panicky about it. It was after the second week or after the third week when actual buyers started to buy that book and gave me sort of feedbacks and gave me started to give some reviews. Then I was literally, happy with what I've done, because at the end of the day, your friends and family, they will support you whatever nonsense you do. If they give you compliments, it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, it is your duty. Even if my niece comes tomorrow and says, I have written a brilliant book. I want you to read it. I will obviously tell, even if she has written ABCD, I'll tell this is the best book in the world. So uh, when the actual feedback started coming in, and when there was actually a certain amount of word of mouth which was happening, and I knew certain bookstores in Bangalore. So because I tried my entire publishing thing with a self-publishing house. So I went and gave some books to them. I started to take their opinions on that. Then when they gave certain positive response on that, that was when I was actually happy about it. I mean, it's not something very unconstructive thing which I wasted my time on.
Like you said, it's definitely not unconstructive time that you wasted on. And sometimes those positive responses know that, okay, you're on the right track, and then you push the book a little more, and automatically the word of mouth happens.
Yeah.
Where Bhujang Shetty is concerned, when can we expect the next one? Because we are looking for some more thrilling ride.
So it's in the draft stage. There are a lot of fine tuning which is happening. So 2026 is what we are looking at around May or June. Yeah, it will be, it will continue to be a clumsy journey of Bhujang Shetty, and it is not, again, not going to be a very serious thing or something. But this time, the premise is set in Goa, So we are just covering the Konkan belt from Basru and all that. So that is where we are headed to, and it is coming. To answer it in
The
brief.
We are looking for the clumsy journey because trust me, how clumsy he is, he's that much only fun. Like I personally root for him. So let him be clumsy always.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah, that will always be straight, right? So
Gotham as a writer and Gotham as a reader.
uh,
How would you describe yourself as a writer and as a reader?
as a writer, I want to write, keep writing fun stuff, nothing serious. I want people to just read it and uh, enjoy it for whatever the time with they're reading in, and maybe at the end of the day, a small takeaway from it. And Gautam, as a myself as a reader, I still read a lot of Neil Gaiman's, and I keep going back to reading Bomkesh Bakshi. I think I've read it some 50, 60 times till now. So that is my, always my go-to book. Uh, in fact, I was so obsessed with this author called as Neil Gaiman that I got connected with him on Twitter and made him send a book from the United States with a signature. So
Okay.
I so I was all there are particular set of authors which I'll always go behind. I mean, I keep rereading these books if you like to go, but generally graphic novels and comics are my comfort zones.
If Gotham has to preach one thing, I know preaching doesn't come easy. You want
Mm.
it fun, but if he has to preach one thing, what would it be?
Be polite and uh, make people around you happy as much as possible. I mean, not by making a fool of yourself, but yeah, try to do good things around you. This is, I mean, people are getting offended by anything and everything these days. It's nice to take a step back and laugh at things and laugh at yourself once in a while. So that is the only thing which I'm going to preach, not something more.
Three books that you would recommend to new writers.
New writers, obviously, if they're writing something, they would have read a lot of books. I mean, The Sandman would be my number one thing, and maybe Kafka on the Shore. I will give a varied genre, so I mean different genres, so that everything is covered. And then this, I would recommend this one, George Oswell also. So, so these three books, I mean, they always stayed with me. Sandman is number one. Forget the rest too. That is the best book available.
And lastly, if there is one thing that you feel you would want to change when it comes to your writing, would there be anything?
Nothing, man. I am perfect. Why will I change?
That's what I wanted to hear.
You know,
Fantastic.
I am a very humble person. I don't degrade at all. This, there is nothing which I'd like to change. It's the same thing. Hmm.
Thank you so much for your time, Gautam, and for so much motivation and fun read. And we're looking forward to other Bhujang in the entire coastal region. We're waiting one by one to discover different treasures, be it now next, like you said, Goa, and so much more. Thank you for your time and thank you for this lovely read.
Thank you, Shweta. It was very nice talking to you. I mean, we had conversations over text, but it was very nice having a face-to-face conversation after a long time. Yeah.
Thank you and looking forward. And everyone out here, please do get a copy, read, review, and let us know what did you love the most about the book.